Hello, hello.
Happy Thursday.
Thursday. Favorite day of the week. It's my Friday. Well, actually, it's like my Saturday on a normal work week.
Yeah,
So-
no, it depends for me. Like, Thursday and Friday are usually my days off, so
Totally.
Days are Sunday and Monday, so this is sort of still middle of the week for us.
Yeah, this is your Wednesday. It's your hump day.
Yeah. Hump day.
Okay. You like the camel?
Yeah.
Mike,
So anyway.
Mike.
All right. So anyway, welcome to the Total Package Podcast. Hope you all had a wonderful week. So let's do some catch up. We'll start with the AMS. What have you been up to for the past week?
All right, well, buckle in. I've had one. It's been one heck of a week. Well, 2 weeks because I wasn't here last week because my dad. Oh my God! So he's only what? Let me do some math. Hang on, because I don't remember. I barely remember my age, so I barely remember my parents. So what? My dad is 52, 53, something like that.
Oh my God, your dad's only 10 years older than me.
I know.
Sorry.
I know, it's surreal. I'm sorry, Chan. I told you some of you could be as old enough to be my parents, okay? I told you, man.
No. Elijah turns 20 in May. I've had to check myself a couple times, like, God damn, you're old, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, God.
Mm-hmm. So he has been having this cough like ever since October, and they, for the longest time couldn't figure it out. It was like up and down. It got better, it got worse, and he was like, okay, we'll finally go to the doctor, finally get it sorted out after the holidays. So he had a staph infection in his lungs. And that was like, first off, that was kind of weird. I'm like, how do you get a staph infection in your lungs? Usually that's like elsewhere in the body, right? So like, okay, well, he's on antibiotics, just amoxicillin, something super basic, simple.
Was there a COVID scare in there? I don't mean to interrupt you, but
there was. No, he thought he had COVID. Okay. And there's been like constant COVID scares with his work, but he's been tested every single time, came back negative, he's fine. So he seemed to be getting better. They also put him on like low blood pressure medication because they're like, oh, your blood pressure's a bit high. We're gonna put you on what was it, prednisone? Something like that.
Oh yeah, that would work. Yeah,
but it was very low dose. It was like 20 milligrams a day, something like that. So they were on that, and he seemed to be getting better. And he was like, all right, yeah, cool, I'm fine. But then he got like a lot worse. And it seemed like he was reacting badly to the medication. Like it got to the point to where like it was, before they went to the doctor's office, it was so scary because my dad was like, he was winded from just walking. From walking to his bed, from his bedroom to the dining room table, he was winded. Like he had just sprinted. And his leg had hurt, and I was just like, oh my God, well, all right, I'm glad you're going to the doctor. So they check him out, and they do like an EKG on him, and his doctor goes, something's not right. I'm sending you to the hospital. They found out that he had a DVT in his right leg. There's a deep vein thrombosis.
Oh, God.
2 pulmonary embolisms, 1 in each lung.
Oh my God.
I know. And I was just like, oh my God, my dad had these, life-threatening blood clots. What? So he was in the hospital for like the majority of last week. So so he's a lot better now, don't worry. But they just put him on blood thinners and had him relax and monitor his blood pressure and everything. So now he's still on blood thinners, and he's got like those like little monitors they clip on your fingers to monitor your heart rate and your oxygen level. So yeah, he got one of those, and he's doing a lot better now. But they also told us like if he takes a tumble at all, you got to go to the hospital because since he's on blood thinners, a small bruise or wound can be life-threatening. So I'm just like, all right, okay, cool. So yeah, he came back that Thursday, and I was just like, well, I don't know. Dad kind of needs some help around the house, so I think I might just, just be safe. So there was last week. So that was
aren't you a good kid?
I know. It was so up and down. And it was just so funny because my mom was like, she like sat us down when everything happened. She's like, and my sister, she's 16. I'm 20. So she sat us down and she's like, okay, don't freak out, but this is happening. And then like both Shannon and I, my sister, and we're just like, okay. Because like I've also learned I'm like over worrying about something is not going to solve anything.
Yeah.
And my dad's in the hospital. He's in Johns Hopkins in Howard County. Like, what do I got to worry about? Like, he's fine. Like, I'm worried my dad's in the hospital, period, but I'm not going to be so worried. It's like, I'm going to blubber over him and go, oh, no. No.
I get it.
So. Plus,
you don't want to think the worst, so why blubber yet?
Right,
you know
yeah, why
mean?
blubber yet? Like, he's not dying. Like, once he's dying, then yes, I'll cry. But, you know. So there was that. And then just usual stuff for me. I'm trying to design. I've been churning out designs too. And I want Redbubble to finally approve my design because they have this whole fan art program. And I submitted a design for Steven Universe.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And they said it can take up to 2 to 5 weeks to approve it. And I'm just like, no, I need it to be approved now.
That's a really long time. Holy crap.
I know.
Yeah, it is long.
I know.
Have you checked with Society 6 about that?
I don't know. I think I might. I'm not sure.
I think their policies are a little different for fan art.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, maybe I also don't want to get like randomly taken down too, because Redbubble's done that to me. Like they've done that where I follow every guideline.
Girl, you should see some of the fan art I found on Society 6. You should really look into that. I found my girlfriend some really cool Gem and the Holograms artwork. Because that was like her thing as a young person, and like she found her old lunchbox and everything and is like showing it off in her kitchen, like showcasing it. So I found her like it's a set of mugs and it's a poster of like every character from Gem and the Holograms, but it's not super detailed. It's just block coloring, and it looks really cool. Okay. There's a lot of fan art on Society 6. You should check it out, dude.
I did check it out, and the only thing that I'm kind of iffy on is that their the market for artists is not as high as Redbubble's is. So I might try it out for a bit, but I'm not sure if I should go there. So
yeah, I understand.
But they do have a lot of good products. They have like freaking bar stools. I didn't know you could like do that. So
I know.
You could put a print on a bar stool, or they have a freaking like I don't even remember what it was called.
It's a credenza with a two-door. I was like, how do people even know what a credenza is anymore? I didn't even know it was still called that. I was like, holy fucking shit.
You could design a whole freaking like cabinet and just sell it to somebody.
I know, it's so wild. But it's kind of cool at the same time because you could pretty much design a whole room based off of your artwork. And that's pretty rad. That's an amazing thing to have the ability to do.
You just have your own room with all your stuff. It's like, look, this house is me. I designed it completely. This is mine. See this? This is mine.
Here's a funny thing though, like quick little story about that situation. I'm part of a few like decorating groups on Facebook, like people who love to just sort of like move shit around in their home and whatnot. And this one chick showing off this shower curtain she bought, and everybody is losing their fucking mind. They're like, where in the hell did you get that? That is the most amazing thing. And it's like sexualized mushrooms. It's like mushrooms with like little booties and boobies and like all this stuff. And everybody's like, where did you get this? Where did you get this? And this chick's like, I got it from Society 6. And like, people are flocking to go get original artwork from actual artists to decorate their homes with in that way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So some of the stuff that you have on Redbubble, like you have like full sheets of stuff where it's just random little guys and stuff like that. That would be great stuff to put on Society 6 because these freaking kids will go crazy over that.
Okay, yeah. Maybe try it. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's basically my week. It was crazy last week and they calmed down this week. How about you, Chan?
I'm fine. I just got my Valentine's gift. JD brought it home today. It's a really awesome Naruto sweatshirt with the
there you go.
Akatsuki clouds on it. Can you even see it? Did I do that right? Probably not. There you go.
Yeah,
I can see it.
And it's got like the thing inside of it. The neck gaiter thing.
What? Wait, it comes with a neck gaiter?
Yeah. It's sewn into the back of it. So if I wear my sweatshirt, I always have one.
Hang on. Where'd you get that? Because I might have to buy that.
I think he got it from BBTS, to be honest with you.
Oh my god, that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah,
are you a big Itachi fan?
Yeah, well, Akatsuki, Itachi, like the whole Naruto thing, I'm nearly obsessed with it. It's really funny because JD's boss's birthday was like a week or two ago, the owner of the shop. And he was away on vacation. They just came back, and Tuesday I cooked like this big meal to take up there because like every year I try to do something nice for him and his fiance on their birthdays. And most of the guys in the shop I try to do nice stuff for, so it's just one of those things. Mm-hmm. And so I busted out the Instapot. It's not an Instant Pot brand, but like the pressure cooker, and I did like the roast and the carrots and the celery, and I made like a giant vat of mashed potatoes because this kid's like, his thing is if he could live in a vat of mashed potatoes, he would. Like that's his favorite thing in all the world. So
potatoes are awesome.
So I try to make him like the biggest pot of mashed potatoes I can find, and I made a half a gallon of gravy. Oh my god, it was just ridiculous. And we're in there talking, and he's tattooing this guy, and he's doing a Dragon Ball sleeve.
Okay.
And somebody, like, I can't remember if it was JD or Sis or myself saying something about like she might have said that she was going to say something about Naruto, and he kind of looked at her funny, and I looked at her and I was like, you can't cross streams, man. Like you can't cross worlds. Like, if they like this, they're not going to like the other. And he's like, damn it, man. And she's like, oh. And I'm like, but I like both. I don't understand why there's a problem. He's like, nope. He's like, Dragon Ball is the greatest anime of all time.
Oh, don't say that. It's not. No, don't put it on a pedestal. It is so not. No.
It's not.
And watch the Yu Hakusho come back and tell me that. So please.
He brought up Akira because that's hand-drawn anime from back in the day.
It's gorgeous.
It's so beautiful.
Oh, speaking of anime,
1,000 others, you know, and I'm just looking at this guy like, as long as you like it, you win, you know, kind of thing.
But speaking of anime, though, like if you have, oh, it's not Netflix, but if you can, the new Gridman series. I know I'm gonna be like a super weird Japanese fan right now, but you know, Gridman. It's just Gridman. It's SSS Gridman. Sorry, 4 S's. Okay. It's done by Trigger. I don't know if you guys know the animation studio Trigger. They did Kill la Kill. They did Gorilla Gone. They did many others. They're Little Witch Academia. They did, but it's just gorgeous animation, and it's just like this compelling story. Max and I binged it in the past few days.
That's cool.
So check that one out. Yes, please. Okay. I'm sorry to just jump in there.
Put it in the chat because I'll forget before the end of the show because I'm dumb. I'm so dumb.
Real quick before we move away from that topic too, I did get around to watching Motherfuckers recently. Before that one was just like, what is going on? I have no idea. What? It's like it took a while to get the story, and then you're like, why am I still watching this? But we're still intrigued to have to finish it because it's like, what are they going to do next? This is the weirdest, like.
Yeah. And the little guy with the flame head, like
he was my favorite. I loved him. They were all funny, but it was just kind of like, what is this like movie that Chan is asking? Because I said, let's watch this because we were fighting over what to watch. And I said, well, Chan recommended this, so that's the reason why Gort agreed to it. Yeah. But anyway, continue on with your life. I just had to mention that since I kept forgetting to mention it. It's been a couple weeks.
It's so weird though. I'm glad you watched it. I don't feel so alone in the weirdness now. But anyway, I really like everything's been pretty mellow around here. Trying to get the house cleaned up and organized is still an ongoing every day, every week process because it's just shuffling things around and around. I mean, it's just it's been a lot of fun. And really, I'm just going to share this real quick because I don't really have a whole lot to really add to tonight's show because I don't have a whole lot of skills as far as like secret skills or hidden skills. The only hidden skill,
we could go that way.
I mean, they can change away from that topic, but we'll see.
The only hidden skill I have is peeling oranges in the shape of a penis and balls.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that.
You mentioned that. I forgot.
That's the only thing that I can do.
I love it.
Well, we covered one of the three. Well, actually, that covers one of the three topics or two topics. What is it?
Oh my god!
Penis,
penis, and
food and penis too. We got it.
Yeah, I mean, like we're halfway there, man. Third of the way.
But anyway,
right there, first 20 minutes.
Grims, how has your week been?
It has been a lot of other shit that I've gotten, but it doesn't matter. My normal life has been kind of boring in general, so I'm going to do a bunch of sharing. So tonight's mug is from this cute place that I found from New York Comic Con, Pugly Pug. It's this cute little mug. I've had it for a couple of years. I just never used it. And today I've been decided I got to use a different mug, and I'm going to showcase it. I love this mug because, of course, it's Pugly's face. But what's also funny is it's got a little butthole right there.
Oh my god, I love it.
And then it's a little pug tail right here. So it's just so cute.
That is the best thing ever. I love that mug.
Yeah,
that is
so mug is so cute. It was part of their anniversary thing. But what I really love about them is that they have, like, if you buy like from their booths, they give you these big, gigantic ass bags. Like, I don't know if I'm showing it right.
I love that.
They're so useful. One time I brought it to a convention they were at, and someone was like, "Where'd you get that bag? Where's that vendor?" And I'm all like, "Nope, sorry, bro. You got to find them in a different place." This was their 5-year anniversary one, which I happened to get as well.
Oh.
So, it's really cute.
I love how fat he is. Oh
yeah, so it's just the cutest. On my Instagram, I have like a photo of the little 5-year booth and all that stuff. So I think they're really cool. The other mug, of course, is going to be a re-enter of the one Chan got me. So that's my water mug. Okay, that's that. And then,
that's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one. I love that one. Let's see if I can get this bad boy bigger. So my pins, I mean, I've been, as I said, I've been showcasing them or waiting to rotate them in or whatnot from it. So this one I got from a Pop Shop Live, which is, bear with me, Kimchi Creative, which I'll pop her Instagram real quick right here. So this was from a B grade sale. Once again, these pin makers judge themselves way too hard because these pins are like beautiful. She does this Home Sweet Home, which are little Hobbit stuff. None of these two aren't B grades, but I of course got the Halloween one because I had to. But the Lunar New Year, which I've shown before, it was good. It's a little, I don't know if you can kind of tell, but there's a little ox right there in the decorations from it. So I think that's really cute. But she also had put in, I'll kind of make myself a little bigger real quick. She had put also them in these custom made little envelopes where she then put her own label, Kimchi Creative, on there as well. And it's like that's really this nice, beautiful, soft matte stuff. So she put a lot of effort into that.
That's cool.
I also got this Weasley pin, which is cute. She also has a series of these Nifflers running, which were all B grades, so I grabbed them. So she's got them with the Snitch. She did a Grogu with a little Froggy and a little Valentine one. And I've got this Witcher coin. And this one was her Black Lives Matter pin, which she's also doing another one of just like superheroes, you know, all together type thing. I got a second one. This one actually is going to go to Mel. But she's doing another set of other superheroes. So this one sold out, but all proceeds go to various charities. So the other one will be another set of charities, which I'd be happy to share when it comes in. She gave a sneak peek of it. I think Hulk is one of the hands. I can't remember what the other one, but this one on here is Sailor Moon, Wonder Woman, Black Panther. I think the Doctor here. This is Hermione and Luke. So a bunch of superheroes on that one.
I like that Witcher coin. Oh, I think I might need that.
I didn't know she had that, and I was I mean, if you want it, I'll give it to you because I just bought
oh my God.
Witcher. But if you want it, I'll give it to you because I wasn't sure why I bought it, and I was kind of like, well, I liked Witcher. It was cool, but it was like B grade. It was only $5, and I was like, let me just grab it since I grabbed a bunch of other shit too. But I think you happy, you more than happy to give it.
Please and thank you. Well, since you mentioned B grade again, Brian in the chat is asking, what is a B grade pin?
Essentially, I guess what constitute a B grade pin, I don't know if I'll be able to show it. Like on Grogu, I guess his color was supposed to be more green, but there's like a gray color. So it was like misprinted on here. I don't know if you can kind of see, like it's just a a bad color, but they, as I said, they harsh themselves, some of these people. If like a fleck of glitter is in the wrong spot, like in a different color or something like that, they'll consider that a B grade for some people. And I'm all like, this pen is beautiful. I don't know what's wrong with you. I will save the $5 on that. I'll buy that pen. But like those, sometimes it's like the ones that cost like $60, or like some go up to like $80 and $100 depending on the type of pen. Wow. But honestly, I think some of these people just overjudge themselves. This next one I've had for a while. I did a Kickstarter. They are called Maintaining Mediocrity, and I think her name. Oh yeah, it is. Her name is Audrey as well. So of course, Audrey. But I bought the Kickstarter with the Roger Rogers because I love the battle droids, and I just think the Roger Roger is so funny. And as
I just get that in my head.
Yeah.
Yes, Roger.
I'm also, if our next pet that we get, I'm going to call them Roger Roger. That's their name, and so that when they go to the vet, it's gonna be Roger Roger. So all that stuff. So that's
I love it.
And then I ended up getting, of course, because I have an Ahsoka obsession, her little Ahsoka earrings. She did the Padawan ones, and I don't know if this was when she was coming back from it. I think these are her current lightsabers. I'm not 100% positive. I don't have pierced. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I have, those are the current
ones.
Yeah.
I don't have pierced ears, so I can't wear them as earrings. I was going to reclasp them and put them in like my Eda bag and stuff, which I may still do. I'm also thinking about reclasping them as like around the ear, like what I don't know what they call them, those little band type stuff. And so I can still wear them together like on one ear and then whatnot from it. Just so at least it's still kind of there and it's still stylish. I have other earrings that I wear like that because I don't have pierced ears, like where they kind of curl around, kind of elfish type design with it. So I think I might just reclasp them into something of that nature, make some kind of wiring or piece that it kind of works with. So I still haven't decided which route I'm going to go with it, but I think I like them and I think I might actually wear them in some style.
Wait, why don't you have pierced ears?
Yeah. My mother decided that she wanted to give me the choice. So she felt like it was a little brutal as a kid to pierce the kids' ears, like one of those things. And then she always offered for me to get my ears pierced, but I have a fear of needles. Like I would have tattoos if I didn't have a fear of needles. Like it's just there. Even though I know like it cannot be so bad, it's in my head. But fear is fear. And I never got around to piercing them. I know I can physically do it, and it would just hurt 1 second. But I'm still a baby, and the thought of it happening, like I know there's like. I definitely wouldn't do like a Claire's or something like that because I have those stupid ass guns and that's like the worst thing in the world. I would, if I were to do it, I would go find an actual piercer because they do the actual needle and it's all more safe and it's a better penetration and they can actually do cool stuff. I would love to have a full ear design, but the fear of the needle is just too much for me. And I'm a baby. I admit it. When I get a shot, I cry. When I had to get my blood drawn at the doctor, I cry. Like I just am. I'm a baby. Like, ugh. Like I just can't. So
did I tell you guys about my story about
the needles?
Well, my needle phobia. Did I tell you guys?
No.
So okay, I totally get you, Grims, because I didn't have a fear of needles before. I decided to be altruistic in high school and try to donate blood, and it was the absolute worst experience for me because oh my god, because like I was like laying on the cot. So that, just in case you pass out, you don't like fall to the floor and damage yourself. But they told me it would be a pinch. They lied. It hurt like fuck. And then I also saw like I was in the middle cot and there were other cots around me. People just started passing out around me. And I just went, fuck no, I'm not passing out. And that was just like increased the trauma. And now I just can't. I can't. Every time I see needles, I get lightheaded and woozy, and I'm just like, I can't. I'm sorry. I had to get a tetanus shot when I like hurt myself at work. I was with my husband. I was a baby the entire time. I didn't even want to get stitches because that involved needles. I was just like, do you really need to, or do I really need to? Can I just like leave it and have it heal? Can it be fine? So like, I totally get it. No, I can't do it. And even with that, I still got a tattoo. I still got.
After that,
yeah, I still got it. Well, I wasn't looking. That was the thing. That's the trick.
It's just I don't know, just something about it.
The thought of it, different too.
No, I know it's not. It's more superficial. It's not like in like when they really have to like shove it in there and all that type of stuff. So I understand all that stuff, and I would love it. It's just one of those. maybe someday. I keep talking myself into possibly thinking about it. I don't know. Because I think I've talked about it before on the show, ones that I would get, tattoos I would get, and all that type of stuff. Who knows? Maybe I'll, huh?
They sound like fun tattoos.
Yeah, exactly. Like I would want to. Like I just nothing I would. Anyway, that's whatever.
I'm not gonna lie, it does totally hurt. It's like slowly getting a brush burn is how it feels. You know what I mean? Okay. It's like slowly getting a brush burn.
I would almost just be like I would probably like ask JD like as a favor if he was cool with it. Be like, hey, can you just like whatever it costs, just like prick me a couple times with whatever type stuff. Like I'll pay for whatever the cost of the replacement needle and all that stuff. Just like prick me a couple times just so I know what it is. So that I what it is. Like you don't even have to do anything. Like I just want to know like somewhere where I just don't care. So I can kind of get the concept because that's what it is. Sometimes it's just I need to know what it is. And then I'm not going to continue on with it. I can process it and then accept said fate. But I can't go into a tattoo shop's like, hey, can I just pay for like whatever it costs to replace a needle? And you just prick me for like 20 times real quick, just in like a little circle.
I just want to feel what it feels like.
Exactly. I just like, what tattoo would you like? I want a period. Just a period.
Dot.
Just a dot. I want a period. Just put a period right there. It's like, does it mean anything? No, I just need to know what it feels like.
It is weird. Like it's sometimes hard to explain, but it is very much like the outline part. It hurts, but the color hurts like more spread
because
out.
There's still more with it in a certain thing. Versus an outline, it's spread out from each other in a sense. Yeah, coloring it, and I see it because they go like this, and then they wipe. They have to, and they use a lot of like rubbing alcohol and water and stuff, and just keep it clean. It keeps it very, very clean. Oh, Jesus.
I'm so sorry.
I'll tell you this: I totally understand what you guys are saying about needles, and for the longest time, I had issues with it. And trust me, if either of you ever end up having children, you will have to get over that.
No, I've never, ever. I was literally just talking about that with Gort earlier because one of my coworkers not him, but his wife just had a baby a couple weeks ago. And he keeps trying to say, I have kids. Like when he came back from work, I set up a little like welcome back type thing. And anyone who sat at the same spot, he said is going to have a baby. So I didn't sit there and I was like, I don't have a baby. But he keeps telling me and this other coworker of ours that we're going to have babies, even though he's older than me. And we're like, no babies. We're team no babies. But he keeps trying to tell us. It's all like, so what do I have to do to convince you? When I was talking with Gort, it's like, everyone keeps telling me, it's like, if I got pregnant, I am going to get poked and prodded all the time, because I got to get my blood drawn, get this, that, and the other. No. And then
testing. Yeah.
And then when I'm having said baby, I have one of three options. And some might be without. A, have the baby normally and just suffer it. Yeah, no. A period cramps suck, and I know pregnancy or birthing is not anywhere near that pain. Like, it sucks already. B, get a needle this fucking long, shoved in my fucking, I know it's not that bad, but shoved in my back, and like, oh hell no.
How big around is the epidural needle? Oh my God, it terrifies me.
It's just, it has to go in deep. That's
I know.
Why.
No.
Your spinal cord. Your spinal cord. You could get paralyzed. Like, no.
Or C, this, I have to get butchered and have the baby pulled out of me.
Cesarean?
Oh, yes. Like, I gotta get sliced and then stitched. Yeah. Where's the appeal to this? Sorry, Chan, but where's the...
I'm not saying there is appeal. I'm telling you not to do it.
No, dude. But there's people who's like, oh, pregnancy is just the best feeling in the whole. Like, that's totally fine. That is totally fine. Like, more power to you. I do not believe you. For me, for me. No. They're like, it's just, I just have this glow about me.
No, you
and
don't.
It's just
you know why you glow?
Thing.
You know why you're glowing? Because you're sweaty. That's why you're sweaty and you're miserable, and that's why you're glowing. And every fucking person that looks at a pregnant woman is like, she's so beautiful, she's glowing. I want to punch him in the face because that bitch probably just threw up.
I mean,
she's probably miserable.
That's great. You're keeping the human race going. I'm not doing my part. It just
Who
is what it
needs to
is.
do that? We don't need to do that. Like
that's what I'm
having
saying,
like 15 fucking kids, one person having 15 kids, that is not keeping the population going. That is overpopulating. It's fucking stupid.
But for me, it's a hard pass. Anyway, before I wrap this section up, I did share this on my Instagram. I think I've talked about the show before. I don't know if either of you had watched it. Schitt's Creek is on my Instagram. This person, Laser Brain Patch Company, which I've shared before. I buy a ton of the stuff. They're the ones that do. They're one of the two that do Harry Potter beans.
Oh my god, Amy, if you're watching, please watch this show. Oh my god,
this was highly recommended. The show Melissa had suggested me to do it because she still guilts me into forcing her to watch My Little Pony, whatever. So I owe her like a million TV series, but this was one. And what was funny is that me and my coworker at the time, Stephanie, we were both watching the show together in a sense, and we both just like fell into it, and I've been rewatching it again. But anywho, Laser Brain has a monthly subscription service, and I skip most of them because they're not into my thing, but this one I saw, and I was like, oh, I'm so curious. So, of course, it's Schitt's Creek. And I don't know, but this is what, I'll show this more. So the Moira patch, it's got this little, like, not felt, I guess, but like,
make it big. I want to see
it. Maybe it could make this big. Sorry. Oh wait, no, that's you. Sorry. There's the Moira patch. Just beautiful. And then the David, his shirt says "Fall off a bridge, please."
And then of course, like, I think he might be my spirit animal. I'm not gonna lie.
I need to watch the show.
I love him so much.
I love all of them. I feel like David is probably the closest that I relate to as a series, or not series, as a character. But I love them all. Like there's times that Alexis, I got to the episode because as I said, I'm rewatching it right now. The Alexis something Rose. It's like you don't know my middle name. Like spoiler or not, it doesn't matter. But I just thought it's like it's a Alexis something Rose.
Oh, it's so funny.
It's just the whole thing. But
David just cracks me up because he's like, no.
Yeah. It's like,
it's pretty much, I feel you there, pal.
My favorite, I think, is Alexis's statement. I really love that journey for you. It just cracks me up. Like they just have these phrases, and it's just so good. Since you haven't seen it,
yeah,
the first 2 seasons are hard to watch because you're kind of getting used to the characters. They are difficult at first, but when they really start evolving, even if you go back and watch, you love them even more. But they take time to fall in love with, and it's a hard thing to tell someone. The 3rd season is really where it picks up, and you just immediately fall in love. That like it did. It took me a couple weeks to really watch the first 2 seasons, and then once I got to 3rd, I literally finished it like in a quarter of the same time.
I did the same thing because at first I'm like, why the fuck am I watching this? These people are annoying.
Yes,
like I can't even stand the way they're talking. And I love Catherine O'Hara as an actress. And it wasn't until I heard her go, "Bebe."
Yeah. Well, that's towards the end. It's all like the bebe.
Yeah, the bebe.
The bebe. She just has a way of talking. Like she has her own, like, you know how there's the fake accent. What is it? The mid-Atlantic accent? Like, so it's the fake one. She has her own fake accent that I guess is because of all the characters that she has done, that she's just adopted them in. And so she can't help herself. Like she just talks this specific accent. It doesn't sound like anything else. It's just hers.
It's so crazy. It's hilarious.
You compare it to like Parks and Rec.
I've seen some of Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec has quirky characters. This has a lot of quirky characters, but I think I haven't finished that, so I can't really compare it in that sense. But it's an ensemble style TV show, single camera. Essentially,
better.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I couldn't get into the Parks and Rec, but I haven't had anyone really want to push me into that. But no, this one, you'll be disappointed. The thing that I would probably say, and we've talked about this off channel, and we haven't, I want to wait to have this conversation usually in Pride Month in June. But the thing that I guess is a very big poignant thing, David has discussed something about being pansexual, I guess would be the easiest term for it, where he talks about wine and the way that he describes it. I don't know if I should talk about it in a sense, or if it's a spoiler to it, or is it a good topic to kind of talk about?
I have no idea.
I would say like the conversation that him and Stevie have in the liquor store is probably one of my most favorite moments in that show.
I won't talk about the
line.
Yeah. So then I won't ruin it because it's a good scene.
And it's like Stevie and David are like very like they're the best characters for me in the whole show. Stevie, she's just the most hilarious. I love how
she's so funny. She's dry. She's such a dry humor, and she just does not give a fuck about whatever David wants, and she just doesn't. She doesn't buy into it in the same sense, and I think that's what just drives him up the wall. But he can't. But the fact that he's never met someone that's like that is what's great to him too. So he can't help it. He can't help it.
And she's so calm too. Like her, I don't give a fuck. There's no drama behind it. She's just like, yeah, I don't care. Yeah, it makes it even better.
But anyway. Like you're rich and I'm not, so I don't understand.
Yeah,
you're like this.
I don't care. I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel that way a lot of the time. I'm like, how could you be like this way? Like people with like who have not earned their money but have been like born into money and they just don't understand certain things, and I'm just like.
That's a big part of the whole show.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Is dealing with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'll like that. And yeah.
But yes. So when you watch or get to that point, try to do it at least by June. So you got 4 months to finish this out.
Okay.
We'll bring this up as a topic and we'll use that as something during Pride.
Could I do it in 4 months? Do you think? How long is it?
Oh my God.
6 seasons. You can finish this within a month easily, depending on how much you want to binge.
They're what, like 20-minute shows or something?
Yeah, it's only like 12 episodes average. I think it's not really that much.
Yeah, it's not that much. It's not that bad.
Well, we're going to do that with rewatching House because we were doing that too.
That's but that's like an hour-long show. That takes
almost.
And I love House. I do. I understand.
Yeah, you're not getting like a full like 26 episode season or anything like that, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so 40 minutes into the show, we're now going to get onto the topic at hand. Oh, hey. So, this week's topic is hidden skills or just learning skills or things of that nature, whether they're useful or useless. So I'm the one who suggested this topic because I happened to have something happen and I was just like, I want to learn how to do that. And I spent some time. So I'm going to show it. I learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube.
Wow.
Oh, that's fun.
So this has been at work for years and everyone grabs it and they play with it and they mess around with it. And it's just like, you try to learn it. And just sometime this week, I just like picked it up and I was just sitting there because I was just waiting. And like I started playing with it and I was like, I want to see if I could try to figure it out on my own. So I spent one day just kind of playing with it. I knew the basic is like you have to solve one side and then you kind of move up. I kind of seen people try to describe it, but I never quite got it. And I was just more kind of seeing like how pieces kind of move around from it.
It's all algorithms.
Yeah, algorithms. Yeah. And I was just kind of like, no, actually, I want to actually learn what this is. So then I watched a video, specifically the Wired one. Some guy kind of taught, like he was studying people or like learning how people were playing with the Rubik's Cube and can it ever get to a fast point? Because I think the current world record is like 3.2 seconds. And he was just wondering if it was like, can it get any less than that? Type stuff, and it's like it's like humanly not really possible to get much less. It's possible to get closer, but not that much closer, like less than that. So it's like whoever can do it first. And so I'm watching it and I'm learning it and going over all that type of stuff. And the first day I kind of learned how to do like half of it, and then I would just keep practicing it. So I kind of approach this like how I learn a dance. Like, you know, you learn the first 8 count and then you practice the 8 count. And then I learned the next 8 count. And then I do the first 8 count with the second 8 count. And then I kind of just start over again. And then I just do it again a couple times. And then
I'm like Brian though. Like, I don't remember if I've ever solved a Rubik's Cube. I'm pretty sure I've got like at least 3 sides, but I don't know if I've ever gotten.
The thing is,
I've never done the whole thing before. I don't remember.
What they say is that everyone who knows how to solve a Rubik's Cube has solved it by learning off someone else. There really isn't anyone who knows how to solve a Rubik's Cube just because they figured it out on their own. I'm sure there's some, but most people don't. So you actually will never really learn it because as you're moving one piece, you're moving out. So unless you know the basics, which is of course learning from someone else, is that you solve one then you go to the next side, and you go to the next, because as you're moving it, if you're doing the wrong side, then you're messing up the other one.
Right.
Yeah, there's the trick.
Yeah. So I know what would be, in theory, I guess 6 algorithms for it to get to the pieces, but really there's like 50 to 100, and those are the people who, because you're moving one piece to move the counter piece, I guess, and that's why they can do it so fast, because they're now knowing each counter move in particular. I'm just solving one section, solving that section, solving this section, and then solving this section and that section. Like, I'm literally just doing it like that. But go ahead.
Here's a good tip that I learned from my friend, because my friend Ben, he's an engineer, so right off the bat, when him and I went to college together, he's the one that taught me how to solve a Rubik's cube. I forgot since, so don't ask me now. I'm sorry. I don't remember. But he told me, solve one side, and keep think of the middle pieces, the middle blocks as fixed.
They'll never move.
They'll never move. So as long as you keep that in mind, it's super easy to solve. It's just remembering the algorithms that you use, and instantly you got it solved, no matter what mixture or combination that you start with.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like a pretty neat trick to keep in mind. If I could remember, I would definitely try to grab my Rubik's Cube and go, okay, I'll do it. Yeah. So.
Wow. I know that it was a big thing in our house to have one and to mess with it and to figure out how to do it, but I don't really remember. I know my sister's done it, but I don't know. I have such a hard time remembering the past. I know I watched my cousin peel the stickers off and put them back on.
Yeah. That's a common one. Everyone kept trying to accuse me of that, but this is not a sticker one. It's actual pieces in there, so you can't.
Oh,
so you can see it's not one in there, so you're just actually doing it and playing with it and stuff. Yeah, from it. I bought another one, which is I think upstairs or somewhere there. Where it's an impossible one. Where let me see if it's right here, maybe. And yep, I found it. It's an impossible one because I'm a glutton for punishment. I don't know if the camera will show it, but essentially it changes colors. So technically there's no right type stuff. This one I just used. Yeah, this one I just kind of used just to mess around. What they do, and when you're watching people who are doing it, they have to keep their fingers limber. And so I didn't understand it in that sense, but until I started actually trying to play with it, you're practicing the algorithms that you're doing and whatever it is and moving with it. I still mess up, so I'm not saying I'm a master at it, but at least when I mess up, I can get myself back to the base and then kind of fix it again and eventually get there. But I'm just hoping with time I'll get better with practicing it. I have other people mess it up so that I could try learning it, because I don't know if I'm messing it up enough when I mess around with it. But it's kind of fun, but it was interesting. So I literally 3 days, I consider technically it's 2 of actually studying it, but I've been able to complete it. I can do it on average as long as I don't mess up between 3 and 3.5 minutes.
Wow.
I guess a standard one would probably be done in a minute is more standard for someone who practices on that end. I'm definitely not getting down to 3 seconds. That's definitely.
So Brian wants to know, once you solve a Rubik's Cube, do you still have the desire to do it again?
Yes.
Obviously.
I want someone to mess it up so I can do it again.
Well, they say that's the best way is to give it to someone else to mess it up and then go from there.
Yeah, they have to mess it up enough. Sometimes I find that even though they think they've messed it up, it's still semi-solved in a sense, which is kind of weird because you're not thinking about the way that you have to move it. You really have to move everything in different, because in your hand, you're always kind of moving it in similar ways. So you're not really in that sense, which is probably why I got this one. So because of glutton for punishment, so that I'm always kind of messing up and never making it easy. But to me, and this is going to sound weird unless you like math, it's like solving a math problem. There's an answer and you're getting to the answer, and it's satisfactory when you get to that answer. And then someone can mess it up, but it's not like someone's throwing my puzzle on the floor and then I have to do the puzzle again.
Oh my God, no, I've seen those. So sad. Oh no.
That's at least not that. At least it's still a piece, and then I can then get back together and I can solve it, and it's satisfactory. I like practicing it and figuring it out, but my brain will do the operation reverse sometimes, and that's where I mess myself up, and I was like, God damn it, I can't. Now I have to do it again. But when I mess up, then it's usually solved within up to about 5 minutes after that. So it really only throws me off about a minute or so.
Brian wants to know how many twists does it take to properly mix up a Rubik's Cube?
I don't know, but I would probably say for an average person who's trying to really mix it up, probably around 30 or 40, I would probably say. But you really have to do like every angle and reverse angles from each other, I would probably say. But depending on if they're skilled or not, the first step or the thing that you want to try to keep different, they call it making a daisy when you're first doing the Rubik's Cube. So if you want to try to make it difficult, let me see if I can get it real quick on here. Don't, because people have handed this to me and I'm all like, well, that kind of defeated what I was trying to do for it. Sorry, let me just solve that real quick.
Yeah, just make little flower patterns on each.
Yeah, the flower pattern on the bottom. I can't find the other one real quick. Oh, here it is. Well, whatever. But this will get the point. Essentially, it's got the yellow on here and then the 4 white corners. If you hand them to that, you've already solved like the first step of what would be the puzzle in a sense. So as long as you're trying to get those pieces away, then you've probably done enough mixing up is probably what I see. Because as I'm solving that, then I'm moving everything else around to get to that point.
That's pretty cool.
Me personally.
Elijah and his friend Lane were both really good at Rubik's Cubes. And his friend was obsessed with like the multi-sided, like big time, like the crazy ones that look like, what the fuck are you going to do with that?
Yeah, I was going to ask that next. Because would you want to try to go to the more crazier Rubik's Cubes? Because they have like 17 by 17 ones that are like this big.
When we were at Walgreens earlier, we had walked by the toy section because, Gort can't help himself. But as we were walking at the end, there was the Rubik's Cubes, and it caught my attention, which has never happened before. And there happened to be one with like weird, there was like a 2x2 Rubik's Cube, which is like, those little kitty ones. Which
those are surprisingly hard, though.
But the one, there was one that was like a triangle. I think I would be curious to see that, try those ones. But yes, I would be interested to try out different ones. But I feel like I still want to master this one better. If I can get myself down in time, I want to try to get under 2 minutes. I don't want to do like a minute, but if I can get myself under 2 minutes without messing up on a consistent basis, I think I will be pleased with.
That's awesome.
That's
so cool.
And then next one to answer Brian's question here, that would probably be next because I'm learning what each move actually does for the pieces. Some of the moves I still haven't figured out what they're technically doing. In a sense, I just know that they make it work the way that it's described. Cool. But then, yes, that would probably be once I do the 2 minute thing. Yeah, one by one. I would then try to see if I can use that to then make my own thing, which would be like, I guess in theory would be like if you could do the daisies on each side.
Just gonna say that I really feel like my cock and balls orange peel is really sad compared to your skills with the
Okay, it's just not excited right now. It's fine.
It's not excited. But give it a day, it'll firm up and it'll be good.
Get out in the cold, it'll get a little.
Yeah. I'm just teasing. That's pretty cool though. Like I've never really tried to look at it like that, like math.
I didn't think of it either until I played it because I was just thinking, oh, it's just this cool little puzzle. And everyone just grabs it and they play with it. And they're just like, okay, let me do this and let me do that. And I don't know, just something just was like, I want to figure this out. What am I missing on doing it? I feel like this is something I can figure out. And I just watched the video like over and over and over again, essentially kind of going from it. And it's just kind of like, I find myself, because I don't know how to say, fidget spinners are fun. I love fidget spinners. I tend to like the fidget cube, if you've seen those. And so this actually feeds into fidgeting in a weird way. So that's where I think it's satisfying to me in a sense, because I can fidget with it and then somehow I'm technically using my brain.
Yeah, I feel like it's fidgeting with a purpose. So that you don't feel like you're just doing nothing. You're just like, oh yeah, I'm just, trying to figure out these little equations in my head. And,
It's pretty awesome.
I'm
seriously I'm impressed right now. I am. I'm like, wow.
Audrey. I mean, I probably could have learned it in a day, but
damn girl.
I had work. So, I had to actually do my job, and then I practiced it during my lunch break and at home, and then
that's cool.
Back from it. But yeah.
So, did you say you watched a video? Did you watch? You watched a video
Specific one, yes. So I said how to solve Rubik's Cube in YouTube, and then the one that popped up was this one by Wired. And that's the one I watched, and that's the one I had learned from. And he just sits there and he just like, okay, so this is how I learned. This is not technically the best, but this is the way that I was taught, and this is the way that it is. Because he's not, because he was just a reporter trying to report on Rubik's Cube algorithms and stuff like that. And then he was like, let me see if I can learn how to do this. And so through all the people talking, and he was kind of learning how to do it. And then he would ask different people like what advice that they can say for it, and to improve your timing and getting down there. But they said, like, yeah, if you practice it for 2 weeks, you should get yourself to about 1.5 minutes.
Wow.
Neat.
So I'm really cool. Like on day, like, honestly, I'm on day 5.
Okay.
And you're at like, and you're at 3 minutes?
Yeah. So it'd be 3.5. But I do mess up, I would probably say 20% of the time. So
that's not bad. That's not
hard.
Average. That's pretty good, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But they say that it's not necessarily how fast you can go, I guess, is the real thing. It's how your average solving tends to be the most popular thing. Because there's the fast, but you could just be lucky with the thing, like a specific setup that was taught to you, or like whatnot, and it's handed to you, and it's just luck of the draw that happened to be given. Cool. But I guess there's these ones where they do 5 Rubik's Cubes in a row. It's a preset determination that they, only as you're doing it do you learn it. But every person is treated with the same five setups. So you get the thing, you look at it, you do that, and then you take the next one and do that, and then it's your average, and that's a record title on its own is that average. But then but everyone who's doing the competition has the exact same 5 patterns. So it is the true who is faster at doing it.
So do you like puzzles, or are you like a puzzle?
I like puzzles and stuff. I just don't do them because it's just, for me, it takes up space and what to do with it afterwards. I don't really like to keep them. I tend to just put them back in the box and then want to chuck them, which is a shame because I feel like some of them are so pretty. I would like to put them up or kind of like have them like a poster or something like that. But yeah, if there's a puzzle, which I have a funny puzzle story. So in college, someone had a puzzle. It was like a star sky type stuff. And we were all just sitting around because normally we played Rock Band, but that day we decided to do the puzzle itself. And one of our friends is colorblind, and he was just solving the puzzle with us, trying his best, bless his heart. But every single piece he found was wrong. And it was just kind of like, because he wasn't like actually looking at it, he was just fitting it. And if it happened to just kind of sit there, it was like, okay, I guess that one works. That's all. Like, but you can still, like, colorblind or not, you can still kind of tell that it doesn't quite sit perfectly. But I was just all like, but I think part of him was also fucking around with us too, like knowing that guy in particular. It was like, come on, Max, did you really need to like? But every time we'd be like, because we would start pushing pieces and we're like trying to put it next to that one, and we're like, why is this not working? It fits perfectly here, but it doesn't fit in this other side of it. And then we would figure out that one was just wrong. It's like, you're just making it harder for no reason. Like, why you do this? He's like, I'm colorblind. What do you expect?
You're calling bullshit, I feel.
I mean, I don't bullshit his colorblindness, but I do bullshit the fact that he was just fucking with us too, because that is very much what he would do.
So, speaking of puzzles and skills and things of that nature, something was introduced to me this past week that I was unaware of.
What?
And that is that there is a guy who makes millions of dollars just solving puzzles. He's solving like $10,000 to $30,000 wooden puzzles. He has his own YouTube. His name is Chris Ramsey, and this shit is ridiculous. I don't know if you've ever heard.
Like, for what? Just because he's on camera, and so people just like watching him solve puzzles?
I don't know if that's the only reason why. I haven't really looked too far into it, but if you even just put puzzle YouTube guy, he comes up.
Okay.
And I've seen like some dude made him this wooden puzzle that's like $10,000. JD showed this to me. And I'm like it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I think puzzles are great, and I love all those weird ones. I used to go into like the cool puzzle stores that they used to have, and buy all kinds of weird puzzles, like the chain links and the hooks that you have to try to get apart, and the rings and all that stuff. And like even some of the wooden puzzles where they're like a bunch of wooden pieces that make like a sphere, and you have to like figure out how to take it apart and put it back together. All these kind of things. I think they're super interesting. I love them. I love puzzles. I'm not real good with the Rubik's Cube thing, but any of the other ones I don't have an issue with, and I enjoy them. Like jigsaw puzzles, I usually get through them real quick because I see the colors, I see the pattern, I like the shapes. It's just fun visually to me because I'm not a mathematics person, but I'm definitely a patterns person.
Yeah.
So that stuff's a lot of fun for me. But this shit.
What's the name of the guy that you said?
His name is Chris Ramsey.
I think I've watched this guy. Well, let me say because that name sounds familiar now that you're talking about it. Where people send him stuff and then he kind of goes over. Yes, I've watched his videos. I actually really like watching them. They'll give him like boxes. There was one that was like, because essentially he's like, he could do like the ball dropping type stuff one, and he's trying to figure out the little puzzle, or will be something like a little tray and it'll fit right and whatnot. No, I've watched this guy. I actually really do like this guy.
I'm not saying I don't like him. I'm not saying I do. I'm not saying anything about it. I'm just saying like the one is like solving a $10,000 puzzle box, level 10, one of a kind in in parentheses. And I'm just sitting here going, this wooden box is $10,000. This fucking wooden box is a $10,000 wooden box. It's made out of wood and it's got magnets in it. And it's $10,000. I'm in the wrong fucking business. I'm telling you that right now. Because wood and magnets, his overhead is unfucking believable. Because that box is only like 6 inches by 1 foot by 6 inches. Square, like cubed. And I'm like, that's not a lot of wood. I could probably have a hell of a porch built for 10 grand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like these are the things that's going through my head. And magnets are not that expensive. We buy them all the time for dioramas. So I know that that's not a big fucking deal. So I'm just baffled that this guy makes millions of dollars solving puzzles. $10,000 wooden box puzzles and shit. Like I'm totally baffled by this. And I don't think they're really that super complicated. It's like magnet releasing, things popping out, like getting to central chambers and things like that. I don't think that it's anything that would necessitate that amount of money.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
You should check him out, though, Ams, if you haven't seen it, because it is kind of interesting and the puzzles are cool. Yeah. Definitely not. Like
I may have seen him already.
If he said like $2 grand, I'd have been like, yeah, I can see that. But
10 grand, 10K. Why?
10 grand just kind of that blows my fucking mind. I know people who don't even spend that amount of money on a car.
Yeah, I know me. That's more expensive than my car.
Right. So it's just kind of like on a 6x6 by 12 wooden box, you're gonna.
On that same tangent, though, if you like stuff like that, there's this mobile game called The Room, and it's super fun. It's like that same. It's kind of like in the occult type theme. Like you're like sort of detective trying to figure out like your grandfather left you this weird puzzle box, and you have to find out what's going on. You found this new element, so you're like. And, you're like using your touchscreen, you're moving stuff and pulling things out. It's super fun. They have 4 games now. So it's so addicting because then you're just like, because like, I don't know about you guys, but every time I solve a puzzle, I'm just like, there's like a release and you're just like, whoa, like something clicked and you're just like, oh, that was so freaking cool. I need that again,
That's some endorphins, man.
Yeah, we're talking about that. Have any of you done escape rooms?
No, but I want to.
I have done one escape room. Not the best. I mean, we got out, but we had to get help because we got confused and whatnot from it. Because they try to help you. It's more fun when you can actually escape, like than not. Because then it feels like you're like, oh fuck, I got screwed because I can't figure it out. So they'll give you clues and stuff like that. But I did one escape room, and it was fun. You feel the pressure, and you're looking around, and you just don't know where to start. You're just in this room, get the fuck out, and then you're kind of looking around. But there is something that my friend introduced, and I actually bought like a set off of Amazon. So maybe one of the times we hang out, I'll bring one. Because we've done this at Fanime. There's an escape room like board game. It's only one time, so it is because you're destroying it and whatnot. So you play the game once. But like there was one time at Fanime, we had it. They usually recommend about 6 people, but we had people coming in and out throughout it. There was like a solid like 3 people who were actually like sticking. I was one of them. But like some people would come in and they were like, "What do we do? Whatnot?" And they'll try to see if they find an answer, and they go off and they go drinking and they come back. But it's actually kind of cool to do like the escape room. So you're kind of like solving the puzzles in the book, and like the box, even the box it comes with, sometimes has the puzzle pieces in it. Like one of
cool.
the barcode that you ring out with had numbers, and you had to use those numbers to then solve the puzzle itself. So they like it could be potentially anything in there. One of them, we had to actually rip the box. There was something like in the box itself, and you had to get in because there was a message behind it or something like that. So it's actually really, I would say that those are fun. Like games, it's just, I mean, whether you consider it a waste of money or not, it's a one-time game. You can't play it again unless you buy it again, but then you kind of might know or some stuff. But it's actually fun. I would recommend the escape room games. I only did one company, but I know there's plenty of other ones. So those are kind of fun puzzles that I would recommend.
I definitely want to find one.
I never even thought about it, to be honest.
I mean, this day and age, I'm sure escape rooms have gone down the tanker, and they're probably not even really open anymore.
Probably
A, not a
not
successful
now.
business, and B, because, you know, there's a lot of moving and touching and too much things to wipe.
Oh, yeah.
But at least the board games themselves, I think, are kind of fun because you're kind of just figuring it out and see what it is. I have the one that I play, they have an app, so you can actually you can start the app and time it, and then you can give yourself the score and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, yay, you completed it.
That's
stuff.
cool. That's really cool.
Listen, always go to the bathroom first before going into escape room. Yeah, I would agree, because you're in there for an hour. An actual physical one, you're in there for at least an hour. So,
oh God, I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, they don't let it out. I mean, it has to be an emergency, so wear a diaper.
Like if I know I can't go to the bathroom, it's always like an anxiety problem for me.
Oh my God, yeah, you just have to go more.
The digital thing for you guys, like I'm like I don't want to go there because I don't want to have to go to the bathroom.
It's only 1 hour. It's only 1 hour. Just go right before.
I know. I'm just not. I'm really not good at that. Like if I feel like there's no bathroom, I'm gonna feel like I have to pee every 10 seconds. I'm like I gotta pee. I gotta go.
Like, no, I gotta pee. We gotta do this faster. I need to go pee. And then you go to the bathroom and you're like, I don't need to go pee anymore.
Or you just have like a little little microliter of pee come out.
Just
That's
a little tinkle. That's what would happen too. It'd be like, you know, I'd feel like I had to pee and then I wouldn't go.
It's like all the anxiety. It's just no.
Yeah. I was gonna say, well, kind of similar in nature. Do you guys, I guess, like those puzzles? Just not it doesn't need to be like an actual board puzzle where you fit all the pieces, but just like, you know, mind puzzles, mind twisters. Like,
I love them. Yeah.
Two things clasped together and now make them not together anymore. And stuff like that.
Like, and here's the funny thing: I suck at math, but I love Sudoku. As far as puzzles,
I play Sudoku. I have the app on my phone.
It's very fun. It's such like it's also one of those endorphin things when you solve one and you're like, ha! I'm not as bad at math as I thought. It's really good for your memory and stuff too. I do like on my phone, and it's probably not even anything remotely close to the same thing, but I have Lumosity on my phone.
What's up?
It's an app that helps you with like memory, and it's games. It's all games, and it's like there's puzzles on it like that. There's like math puzzles, there's reading puzzles, there's all kinds of shit on it, and it's supposed to help you with like, I don't know. It says here, you can race yourself, you can do like language, math, strengthening your memory. Treat your brain to the games you play most, and it's like a workout for your brain. It's actually really cool. I find myself like I have really bad memory problems because of my medication. So that actually sounds silly, but it actually helps me with like when I'm doing it every day. It like it helps me with little things like even just remembering a grocery list, or maybe why I walked into a room, or where I put my phone. Because that's like a constant issue is like, why did I walk in here? I came down the stairs earlier and I'm like, why did I walk out into the laundry room? What do I need?
Now, did I mention this before? But I saw somewhere the reason why you forget when you go into a room what you went in there is that it is a mental thing that we have, that when we go through a doorway, it is a memory wipe. That is something that just does. It's a human thing that we have, that when you walk through a doorway, you are wiping the slate clean. When the process of walking into a room is swiping the slate clean. That's why it's so common that when you go into a room, it's like, why did I just come in here? Because the process of the doorway is a wiping of your mind.
Man, so I would love it if that actually worked. That would be so fucking cool.
It's something about the doorway, something about walking into the room in the doorway, just that process, I guess, visually when we're seeing it is doing something where then it just forces us to forget.
I like that. I like that a lot. That's fucking rad. Yeah.
Human.
I'm going to have to remember that. Like, I'm just going to start walking through doorways and be like, I don't remember anything. Why am I here? Where am I?
There's just something about the doorway. I don't know why. I don't remember where I saw that, but it just is. And it's just, you're going to walk into a room and you're going to forget whatever it is.
Sure.
How about this? Because so Chan, when you were talking about the brain thing, I remember this thing when I had my Nintendo DS. There was like a game where it was like a brain quiz thing, and you're supposed to turn it on every day and do the daily quizzes and stuff. Kind of remind me of that, but somehow it also reminded me of this thing. Have you seen this? I guess it's called a Shroop test. What did they call it? I'm sorry, I forgot where it was. Someone had Stroop test. So, do you think you could do this? So you are supposed to say the color of the word and not what the word says.
Oh, yeah. Right, that's in there. That's in that Lumosity game. It's in there.
From that. I had a feeling that was probably it itself.
But I love that. That's so fun. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, that just like tripped me up.
Yeah. Well, I mean the top row is correct, but the bottom row is the one that's gonna throw you off. So you're supposed to do like the bottom row, yellow, red, blue, green, purple.
I almost said
black. Like as your time going, like you slow down because now you're processing color, not the word.
So that's another thing. Like that's another reason why I like brain games and stuff like that, and that Lumosity thing and all this is because like. So problems like Alzheimer's and just memory issues as we age is a big problem in my family. And I want to try to prevent that from being such an issue. And if you don't keep your mind sharp, that's how it usually, like you're not paying attention, you're not doing these things to strengthen your memory, strengthen your mind, things eventually slip. And I like the way my brain works just fine. I don't want it to get worse. I would like it if it worked better than it does. I definitely don't want future problems. So like things like that Rubik's Cube and like any brain games, I think is just the greatest thing in the world.
Well, they say nuns, I guess, is the perfect example of this, is that nuns because there's some that just study the Bible. They just study the Bible. That's all they do. They just keep reading the Bible over and over. And I mean, there's only so much of that you're going to be taking in and whatnot. But they say that the nuns that have like a hobby, anything else, something else to focus on other than the Bible, that they tend to be less likely to get things like dementia and stuff versus the ones that just study the Bible alone, because their brain is still thinking and still processing and still doing something, and they're still active mentally with it, versus when you're just reading the Bible over and over and just following that and not doing anything else, that your brain is essentially deteriorating, unfortunately.
And
you need to, learning is a exercise for your brain and does help with all those things. And I think kind of much similar to forgetting how to play, you also need to remember how to learn. You have to learn. So you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, it's because
then yeah. If you can't teach an old dog new tricks, then I guess you're ending up with dementia, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man,
there's a higher chance of it. That's why they say like some of those dementia people, they play music from when they were younger, and then that's when they start actually being more active, and then sometimes they can even talk to you still. I've seen videos of that where the person just is there and just can't, but they play music and suddenly the person can talk again because they're using their brain to help them focus and stuff. I don't know how. I'm not a doctor.
Really cool.
So don't quote me on that, but I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, sorry.
Really tied into memory.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. I just think it's all like super amazing. And it is part of playing. Playing is learning. That's another thing that a lot of people forget. Like Brian was just saying in the chat about like Transformers and how he doesn't look at the instructions, he transforms them without the instructions, and it may prevent him from wanting to transform it again, but it's still his brain learning something new every time he does that without the instructions. So there's a toy, there's learning something all combined together. So I agree with you about the learning thing. That's a huge deal. I also think like it's an important thing to like analyze yourself in that way, like learning things about your brain, your mind, trying to do a little changing, bettering yourself. That's another way to keep your brain motivated and active and moving is trying to get into a mode like that where you're like, you're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. So let's try to find some positive ways to change and better ourselves and try new things and taste new things and go on adventures. And that's definitely a cool way to keep your mind going. Cause I think that was a big point of downfall in my grandmother and my aunt. They lived alone. They didn't have new adventures. They didn't go anywhere for the longest time, and they just kind of like, my aunt just sort of sat around and watched Westerns all the time, and my grandma just sort of sat around and watched daytime TV and read the Bible. So I mean, spending all that time alone and not doing anything outside of your normal basic functions, I think is definitely a huge downfall, and not something that we should fall into the habit of doing.
Agreed. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, I would say reading those things or whatnot, but you have to be learning something new. You just have to, because then otherwise you're just letting it deteriorate, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. I know a big thing for me is also physical activity. So like my skills aren't necessarily that great with much of anything anymore, but I definitely find that I feel better when I'm physically active. I have a rowing machine, and I just started getting back on it, and I notice I feel better when I do. Yeah. Like, does it hurt? Yeah, lots of things fucking hurt. But do I feel better later? Fuck yeah, I do.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like solving a puzzle, my brain just feels better later. So it's also good to be active, and I kind of can't wait for warmer weather at this point because I'm ready to get moving.
Oh, definitely.
I'm tired of sitting still. I need to get out and sleep in a tent and hike and not be stuck in the house.
Okay, you had me up until that point.
I knew that was gonna get you. I knew it was gonna get you. No camping.
No camping. Unless we're doing camping in a hotel, then we're good.
Camping in a
glamping, right? Glamping in a hotel. Glamping. You guys can be out. What?
It's not even glamping. No, I wouldn't count that.
That's extreme glamping. Hotel camping.
Hotel is extreme glamping. What about?
I'll do a cabin. I'll do a cabin.
Oh, there you go.
That's like the extent that's the most roughing that I want to go in that sense for it.
Are you going out or converted buses for you or any of that, huh?
If I had to, that's still better than in a tent outside in the cold. On the ground. I don't like. No. I'm not saying that I'm spoiled, but I don't want to pretend like I'm poor. Oh,
there you go.
Is that what that is?
No, I just comparing it as something. But I'm just saying, like, I know people enjoy the camping and the nature and all that stuff. Yeah, I'll go for a hike. I'll do a hike. I'll go to the beach and have a bonfire. Like, I'll do that. Do some chores.
This chick I know, her kids are now like graduated and moving on and stuff like that. And she went through like a big change in her life as her kids got older. And her husband now travel in their RV, and her RV is nicer than most houses I've been inside of. It's freaking crazy.
No, I know some are they're just luxurious and stuff. No, I know there are some like great. I don't know if I would because but you have to give up all your stuff. And there's a thing where then when you're living in an RV and just doing that as your life, you just live minimalistic. I think I would have to get to a point where then living minimalistic would be it. But of course, never giving up all his Transformers. That's not happening.
Can you imagine taking a Transformers collection on the road?
No. No, not at my husband's size. No, that's not possible. No, you would need a separate RV for that. No,
it would be difficult to have pets. I know people usually that live that lifestyle, they don't have pets, or maybe they have like a cat or something. But I don't think I could not have a ton of animals with me. I think, in a sense, I know you can still or whatnot, but I know a lot of those people who do live those life, they usually don't have a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know. This chick Shauna I knew, she traveled with her dog and she drove a tractor trailer.
Yeah, but that's one dog.
Just one, but for her, by herself, it was easier for her to maintain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I want many.
I saw this video of this family of 5. It was 3 daughters and a mom and a dad, and they had like a bunch of animals too, and they lived in a bus and traveled, and that's how they lived. Like, they didn't have a stationary home. And I'm like, how do you do that with 3 kids and animals? Yeah. And it was like a bunk bed in the back of the bus. It was like mom and dad on the bottom bunk and all 3 girls on the top bunk. And they were they were the whole full size of the back of the bus.
Yeah.
Wide. But it's still like, of course, what's the first thing I think of? I'm not having sex with a bunch of kids above me in a bunk. That's
no.
I understand how that would how do you have a sexual relationship at that point?
Is this you tell the kids to go play over there and don't come back for a couple hours?
Over there.
Go play over there. So like, mommy and daddy are going to drop you off at daycare for a bit, and we'll drive right back. And
oh my god.
No, I can't even imagine.
How would you get mail? How?
Yeah, PO boxes.
So what part of you just like stay in one part of the country and just go, okay, we'll just come back every now and again.
You probably work with someone who would pick up the mail for you and let you know if there's anything in particular from it. But yeah, usually you got to have some kind of base of something.
Crazy to think about, like all the adjustments you would have to make in order to survive that way. Yeah, exactly. Constantly moving. It's crazy.
I think I thought of a hidden skill that I have. Well, off screen I'm doing this. I wouldn't call it a hidden skill anymore. Because, I did learn it fast. It was like less than a year, and I picked it up. I'm already making stuff like it's a headband.
That's cute.
So, I like that. So that is not hidden anymore.
Not necessarily hidden, but it's still a skill you proactively have learned and are still developing.
Oh yeah, there's like different types of knit and crochet I still want to do. Like there's like I was like learning yesterday. There's like ways to do. It's called intarsia, like color work. And you put like different colors in with different yarn. Okay. Just learning how to do that and make sure you don't have holes and whatnot. And then there's like Tunisian crochet, which is like you have like like with the hooks, you don't have them on the hooks like this. Like if I'm making sense, I don't know, but you just like take your hook and you just work it with the yarn, but it doesn't stay on it. But with Tunisian crochet, it's like half and half. So it's like it's like you're still crocheting, but sometimes it's left on the hook, and then you take it off and you put it back on. But it creates this like really interesting pattern. And I'm just like, I want to learn these things, man.
Just with time.
I watched my mom do this thing where she took, the furry yarn, how it's like,
oh yeah,
it's real thin in the middle, but then it has like the splay of furry shit up through it. She would take that and regular yarn to make like bands on hats. She'd put them together to do that. And it was really wild to watch her do it and the look that it, and she would do it with like the rainbow furry shit and all that stuff, and just give it all these different looks. And it was just really interesting. She never followed a whole lot of like, I would call them recipes.
Yeah.
She just started making shit up.
It's like when you learn the basic and then you just kind of go from there. You can. Like I bring them up all the time. The Try Guys, they did an episode where it was like, well, we learned how to crochet and we're going to make Christmas crochet gifts for each other for it and that stuff. But they just literally learned the basic thing and then they just made the gifts. And so a lot of it is just how can you figure out how can I convert this over, or what extra skill do I need to then be able to do the last thing that I need to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab this yarn because now you got my brain going. There's a certain type of yarn that I don't like, and I want to show it to everybody. So hang on, I'll be like back in like a hot minute. Hang on.
That's cool.
That's exciting. But I know the dual yarn thing. I know it takes a lot of practice because you can have different. How would I say? There's got to be a better word for it, but consistencies of the yarn that can kind of affect each other. Like you have to have them still kind of similar in nature for it to
know
work.
What you mean. It just sounds really strange to say it, but like to watch somebody do it, it's like completely different. Like you're like, what? That makes a lot of sense, and I really think that looks cool. You know, to do like the double yarn thing, it's interesting. It's really different, and her hats would be warm and heavy, and they would almost have like a Russian look to them in some way. I know that sounds really strange. And like Ams she's making the headband that has like the twist in the middle. She would make full beanies that had the twist in the top instead of the knot or the ball. She would make full beanies and then have that part at the very tippy top be where it twists. And then it was like, where are you coming up with these ideas?
It's fun. So here's this yarn.
Super warm.
Oh, good. So I hate this yarn. If you can see how it is, because it's just this weird bumpy yarn. And look at the end. Like it just frays like heck. Yeah. So my problem is that like I'll be trying to make a project and it'll constantly like snag. My needle will snag and like go through the yarn itself. So I get a part of it on my loop and not all of it. So it's just so frustrating. And I have like, look how big this thing is. Like I have so much. What do I use it for?
I don't know. You even. I mean, I know it sounds.
Would
really
it be
hard.
easier rather than crochet? Would it be easier for needlework, since needlework you're mostly working around type stuff versus crochet you're hooking and trying to grab it in? I don't know.
A little bit, but it's still like everything is still loops. Like you see this, it's still like you're still working with loops. So it's just so frustrating. I've like tried to work with this yarn so many times. I have like 2 of these. I have 2 of these in different colors. I have like maybe like 4 of them total. Just because like I just like I'm like a magpie. I just like grab different.
You feel like I can use this for something.
Like it looks nice, but
I admit I have a couple of things of yarn myself that I don't know. I've had them for like 5 years now, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
But I don't know what to do. I'm like like. Should I make a blanket? I don't know if if I could handle that. If I could really just want to like put my.
You would be a scarf would probably be the extent of something to do with it, because at least you can make maybe a looser hole style, so it doesn't need to be tightly wound, but maybe a looser might make it easier, and so you can at least make it a scarf.
So
I think I might do that.
I had a girlfriend who used to crochet and knit all the time, and she would use yarns like that with like, what's it called? It's like a shell pattern. I want to say.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Yeah, I love that pattern.
She seemed to. I don't know if it was easier with that kind of yarn or not, but that seemed to be because it's a looser stitch. I mean, or a looser knit. It might be easier. I don't know. I'll throw that out there at you, see if it maybe helps. And you could do a whole scarf that way with a little bubble.
That would be fun. I think, I think if I were to crochet it, I know like I just said that, it'd probably be harder with crochet, but I think if I were to do that stitch in crochet, it would be easier. Like, I think that'd be really nice. And there's another, I have it upstairs, but there's this other pattern. It's called like a rice pattern. And it's like, instead of, you know how with crochet you have the post and you also have the stitches on top? You're just going through the post instead of the stitch. and it's creating this sort of like basket weave pattern. So that's like really cool. That might work. Yeah. So yeah, I just have like loads of that in here. I'll send a picture in the chat because I got this t-shirt yarn and I made a basket to hold all my yarn. And it's huge. It is absolutely massive. And I don't think I ever shared it. But yeah, cool. I'll send it. There you go.
Yeah, I want to see that. That sounds awesome. A t-shirt yarn, huh?
Yeah, it's like recycled t-shirts.
Wow.
I found it online. Cool. Mm-hmm. And it's like soup. It's kind of soft. It kind of varies too. There you go. I just sent it. And it was super cool to work with. And I was like super crazy because I want to finally get back into crocheting because I started in high school. I made a few scarves and then I dropped out of it because I just was so disinterested, and then I got back in. So then I was like, okay, here's this pattern online. Wow. I want to definitely make it. And yeah, look at it. Isn't it neat? It's so big.
Do you remember those like pot holder kits that they used to sell for like little kids? Do you remember that at all? They were like it was like a square thing, and then you would weave these loops that were made out of felt like old t-shirts. Do you remember that shit?
Maybe. I don't know.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Sorry.
Like a loom setup type thing, or
sorta, yeah, like a kitty loom, like pot holder. I'm gonna see if I can find it because I used to have a ton of that shit.
Yeah, it's Paintbox Yarns is like one of the brands I like to buy. That's the one that made the t-shirt yarn, and they also did that pattern too for that basket. So they had like a big one and a smaller one. I want to do the big one. I'm like, I want to put all my yarn in there.
Dude, I love that. That's so awesome.
Dude, I made it in 3 days. It was so crazy. Yeah, my wrist hurt so much.
Oh my god, dude, that is so fucking cool.
It was so fun. And it got so heavy too, because like after a certain point, you're just like you're using like your biceps and your forearms, and you're just like, oh, just like trying to.
Can you see that? It's like this. Do you see this?
Oh, yeah. Now I remember those. And then you had to like do a little loop over at the end. Yeah.
Oh my god, you just
I totally forgot about that.
Yes. Are they called GIMP or something?
No, I don't.
Called?
It's like a little loom type thing, but I don't know what they call it.
I don't know making little bracelets out of it.
Pot holder loom kit, something or other. I don't even fucking know.
I remember making like little bracelets, like out of this like sort of like plastic, this flat plastic. It kind of looks like that, yeah.
Can you see the loom?
Let me make it bigger. Sorry. Yeah,
that's really neat. I'm like,
that's funny. The stretchy band stuff,
yeah. They're like, it's like,
I had no idea what you were describing before, but that as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh yeah.
That stretchy band, that plastic stuff. I remember like fiddling with that in like, what was it, middle school? And I like do the little like squares and just like pull them tight, and then keep on like layering it on top, so it has like this sort of like prism type.
Yeah, that's the GIMP stuff. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This is like t-shirt material. That GIMP stuff, I knew kids who made tons of that shit.
I don't think I ever finished it, by the way. I like fiddled with it, and I was just like, hey. That loom looks cool though. Oh man, if money wasn't an object, I would love to do. Well, besides, get my life in order and make sure I don't have any debt. The usual. Yeah, those. Oh man. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Remembering my childhood right now. Oh my god.
Friendship bracelets.
Yes, I want to make those. I have so much.
This is a lanyard, but isn't the?
God.
Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah, those things. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yes.
This one in the middle here.
Yeah.
That's like a serious like skill pattern, and the one down here at the very bottom.
I love it. Oh man, I want to make friendship bracelets now. Maybe I should do that. I'll just send them to you guys.
Yeah, there's.
Oh my god!
What's that material called? That material is called something in particular.
It's plastic lace GIMP is what they call it. I'm serious.
That's all I remember it as.
No, I'm talking about the plastic stuff for the bracelets.
Yeah,
it's called something.
I just remember it being called GIMP. That's it.
That's how I remember it too.
That's not what I know it as.
So
but I know
fun.
it's like the flat plastic strings.
Yeah.
So fun.
I don't remember what else it would be called because I'm looking it up. It's like
You're saying GIMP. I feel like it was called something, or at least I knew it as something else.
Plastic floss is another one.
It doesn't sound kid friendly. Every time I say it, I'm just like
not kid friendly at all.
Like GIMP suit, like no, not the same.
Yeah.
I'm such a crafty person. I just realized this. Like I've been like just picked up so many things over the years, like in sewing and friendship bracelet making, weaving. Macrame is next. I swear.
There you go. Oh man, you get into macrame. I want to learn too because I would love to learn that shit.
I'm a very functional person, like very utilitarian. I like making things that people can use, obviously. Yeah. So I'd love to make like plant holders.
That's exactly what I saw. These ones that they were tables. They were side tables that hung from the ceiling and had glass plates inside them. Oh and they were end tables beside couches and shit. It's fucking wild, man.
That's wild. Oh my god. I know what I really want to do next. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I want to try to do those those banners. Mm-hmm. You know, those really pretty ones that you see either macrame or double knit. I want to make those. Those look really pretty. Go ahead.
I was just gonna you reminded me of a couple of things whenever you were talking. One of them is the fact that my friend Jenny just started learning how to crochet, and the first thing she crocheted was a penis, the shape, just a flat shape, not like a full, and that was amazing. I loved that.
Oh, no.
And then you said something about macrame, and the first thing I thought was if I teach Jenny macrame, we're going to be making macrame penises to hang on walls, which would be
come
super fucking funny
with a penis color work pattern just to make it's one of those patterns I really like. I like the patterns that you can't really tell what they are at first, like far away, but you have to really get close up and then you can really see.
Yeah, I love that.
I want to do that.
One of those cross-eye style stuff. You're like,
The other thing I was thinking is that the only hidden skill that I can think of is the fact that I have to organize everything.
Oh yeah, I was gonna get to that. That's my hidden skill. Is that I think I Tetris things in my head in a certain way. I think it's just me because my family doesn't do it, and neither does my husband. And I'm just like, is this just me? I just see something and I see a messy drawer and I'm like, okay, I know where things go. Yeah, I know how to
in my head, it's like things go with like things, and that's just how it works out. I don't know.
It's fitting stuff.
I have a special skill where when things get organized or clean, I forget where I put it.
Oh no!
Yeah, I'm better at it be messy. I'll remember where it is, which is apparently another thing as well. That if you put things away, I think it's an OCD, not OCD thing. I think it's an ADD thing or something like that I said somewhere.
Oh, it is. You're right.
That is, if you clean up and you put it away, you actually are messing with your brain in a sense. But if you remember in the messy spot, somehow the association with where it is in the messy spot.
It's the out of sight, out of mind. It's really, really important for people with ADD and ADHD that if it's not front and center, if it's not right there all the time, you forget about it. So,
which is why I keep telling my husband he wants me to go through my stuff and get rid of it. It's no, when I get my room settled, then I'll have it all out and displayed, and then I can see it. That's the problem is that right now it's all hidden because we're still renovating other stuff. Yeah. It's I can't go through it now. I need to go through it when I have the room.
Right. See, I'm like that too. I can't if I don't have the space to put it, I don't want to bother with it.
That's why I don't
I'll leave it in a box. It can stay in a box. It can stay in a closet. If I don't have a place to put it, I don't want it. I don't want to see it.
He just wants me to get rid of it and just get on. It's no, it's what if I have the space for it? I have to wait till the room is situated.
Yeah.
Whatever.
See, the other thing is I like closed in spaces to be organized, or drawers and cupboards. And even the pantry, because it's a separate space. It's a closet all on its own. I like those things to be straightened out, But if it's a desk or something, or like my nightstand or my dresser. It's a fucking disaster.
You should see my workstation. I have stuff everywhere. I have like a pile of books like right over here, and I'm just like, I know exactly what's in there. It's fine. I don't.
Like messy top side is fine, but like inside of things has to be clean, or I'm losing my shit. I'm like, I can't. I can't.
There is such a thing as organized chaos, especially when it comes to creative minds. Like organized chaos is a thing. Like it's more freeform. Like if that makes sense. Yeah,
I can't. If it's too like, there's certain things that I like organized, and there's certain things that I do not like organized. It just can't. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
That makes total sense.
I fall back to Einstein saying like his quote about if a cluttered desk is a sign of a cluttered mind, then what is an empty desk a sign of?
Yeah,
an empty head. You know,
exactly.
So it's like, I have too many things going on up here. I don't want an empty head. I definitely don't. I think that's another reason why I don't mind our house being like it is.
Well, everything still has a place, at least from my view, because I can see like your shelves.
Have everything still like in shelves. I think that's where it doesn't feel like it's like anything of that nature. Like, Gord can't stop talking about your house. He's all like, this house is amazing. Everything's there. It's just everything is displayed and all that type of stuff and whatnot.
It's a wreck in here when people aren't around. Like, not a wreck, but like, we're especially when we're in the middle of like reorganizing stuff or moving things from one storage area to another storage area to reorganize things. Then it's like if you see the other side of this desk or this table, it's covered right now. And like the hallway going up to the third floor, right at the bottom of the stairs, there's like boxes sitting at the bottom of the stairs to go up to the third floor to be put in the one storage room. Like, it's just, things are constantly being cycled and moved around. And then of course we're in the process of trying to like break down our collection to the point where it's not over collecting stuff. So like JD was buying like 3 of one figure at a time, especially with Star Wars Black Series stuff. So he'd buy 1 to display, 1 to hang on a wall in box, and then 1 to put away in box. So it's like we got 2 of one figure in a box and 1 on display. And then when it comes to like troops, he is a troop collector. Like, he's got stormtroopers lined up in shelves, you know. So it's like, it's one of those things where we're just trying to minimize some of that a little bit. And the only problem is I don't really know that many people who are buying Black Series anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like trying to figure out what to do with that. And then there are a few Transformers that he is I don't know, he wants to cycle out. It's got nothing to do with me trying to talk him into that. So it's like, it's the process of that kind of thing, like just trying to cycle things out and reorganize and revamping certain parts of the house.
Yeah, I get that.
We want to work on the basement so we can expand down.
Yeah, exactly.
With things too, like workroom, workspace type deal. Want to redo like the Bilko door situation. Do you guys get into like projects like this where you're like really working on like the outside of your home and stuff like that? Because there's like stuff outside that we're talking about doing and all that. So
I haven't had the opportunity. So once I have my own living situation, I'll come back and let you know. So yeah, I'm not there yet. I'm sorry. No, I would love to though. That'd be really nice. Once I have so many ideas of when I finally get my own place, well, Max and I, and just like, you know, decor and all kinds of fun stuff like that.
Even as minimally as like gardening, because you're into that and you definitely roll through that in your
so
backyard.
Many plants I want to plant. Yeah. Just like have so many going through my head and like their names and whatnot. And I'm like, oh man, I come from a creative family. Like, help. Like my grandparents, like my grandpa has like the greenest thumb. Oh my god, like you ask about anything and he's just like, oh yeah, all right, yeah, I got you. I'll propagate this one plant that's super hard to propagate, and here you go, that's all you gotta do. I'm like,
that's awesome.
So great.
I'm trying to talk JD into letting me build like a solarium or a sunroom greenhouse out back.
No, Oh, I will help you. I will help you.
I'm like, hey JD, if we do this and this, we can build a solarium out back, and then we won't have to worry about a bill.
Grow tomatoes. Grow tomatoes year round. Do it for me.
It's so crazy. I feel so. I'm like, I keep looking at pictures of like solariums and all these other things, and I'm like, I want that one, and here's one with recycled windows and da 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 da.
Yes.
Eventually, you'll get there. I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure it'll happen.
With like the, you can turn them. Yes. Oh, I want one of those.
Wouldn't it be hilarious to like have a conservatory in your fucking house and be like, let's go have breakfast in the conservatory, and it's just a fucking room made from.
But just be careful when Colonel Mustard comes along with the wrench.
Right. Because I keep looking at spaces like this.
Ooh.
Oh, so pretty. Oh, so expensive. So pretty. Awesome. Oh, I want.
And it's made out of recycled doors and windows and shit. Like
that's what I'd want. I'd probably live there. No lie.
Have you ever heard of like construction upcycle places?
No, I haven't heard of it, but I would assume there would probably be something that exists because a lot of people try to use those things.
Yeah, so it's basically like a yard is what they would call it, where these people will go out and they will take old windows that window companies will take out of homes, and they'll put them back out in a yard to sell for people who are trying to fix up their homes inexpensively.
Okay.
So it's like you can buy crazy huge windows for not a lot of money, and they're not all old windows either. Yeah. Some of them are really nice insulated windows. So windows, doors, stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Never knew that. Yeah, I knew. I'm just thinking about actually like more so on like the art side, like making like just creative projects, just like, hey, I might want to get into sculpture. Who knows?
Yeah, that's another reason why I used to go
junkyard, to this. Just grab stuff, weld them together. Who knows?
Oh, I want to learn how to weld. Oh my God, don't bring that up, man. I want to learn how to do that so fucking bad. I'm like, man. I have this dream of building like these giant metal dinosaurs and just dropping them in the middle of the woods. Like sneaking out, like having a trailer. I can just drop a tarp over a giant dinosaur and truck it out someplace and like fucking take it out into the middle of the woods.
I love
and
those.
Leave it and let nature take it back. Like it'll be covered in moss and bullshit and vines one day.
There is a sculpture like that. It's kind of eerie. I forgot the artist's name, but it's this giant woman, and in different seasons she has like lichen on her. So like she has like she looks different in different seasons. And I'm just like, oh, it's so cool. I love it. Oh, I love 3D sculpture. Oh my God, no.
That's so cool.
It's so good.
Yeah. That's badass.
Well, anywho, ladies, we're over time. So let's do some wrapping up for the week. So I'm going to start with my shout out as usual. I'm running out of these, so I might have to stop or look for something else. So I don't know if I did this person yet. The baby pinfluencer from it. I don't know did I do this pin yet? This one? This Kylo Ren?
Oh, hello.
No? Okay, there we go. So that's the Kylo Ren one. Yeah. Sexy man pin. So giving a shout out to her. You can't buy it, but at least you can follow her, see if there's anything else, because I think she already sold out all those. I find these random. There's just a lot of Kylo Ren pins. Sexy Kylo Ren.
Adam Driver, as a person, he's not unattractive, but his face is like, not quite there for me. I'm just, I don't know.
I like him in some of the stuff when he's not taking himself seriously. I think that's when I find him probably the most attractive. He is actually really funny if you watch him in interviews and stuff. Like he just is a goofy person.
But not as Kylo. Kylo wasn't like
no.
That's doing it for me. I'm just like
that's where it's just kind of a little weird because he's being like so serious and stuff, and that's why people make fun of him. And especially that one scene in the second movie where he's shirtless and he's just like feels like he's like this wide.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he's like basically a triangle. Like what?
Did you see The Dead Don't Die? It's a zombie movie he was in.
No.
It's a comedy. It's really fucking funny. It's got let's see. Hold on. It's got him, Tilda Swinton, Bill Murray, Tom Waits, Steve Buscemi, Iggy
Oh my
Pop,
God.
like Carol Kane, Danny Glover. It's a really
Wow.
awesome friggin' movie.
Okay, yeah, I might have to watch
Super
it.
funny too. The Dead Don't Die. It's Bill Murray. Come on.
Yeah.
I would probably think he was really hot in that one because he doesn't take himself seriously at all. It's pretty hilarious.
I think he's just good at comedy. It's just he's more what made him more famous, of course, is the one role. But I think he just is one that could play. I would like to see where he's going to go now that Star Wars is over for him, and like what he can really do. But anywho,
yeah.
Ams.
Hello. So yeah, I am a freelancer, graphic designer, illustrator, and now software creator. I don't know, because I knit and crochet. I'm starting to get into embroidery as well. I'm crazy. Just just hit me up. Follow me. I have a Patreon if you want to support me once a month. I have like a tier as low as $1 a month if you want to support me in that way. It doesn't have to be much. Please. I have a shop at Redbubble. Currently, I may branch out. Well, I do want to branch out. I just don't know where yet. So, but just keep your ear to the ground. I'm always here every Thursday. So let me know if you want anything done. I'm here for you. I don't bite. Let me know.
She will try anything.
Yeah, I will definitely try anything. I'm that type of person. I will like literally go. I will dive face first into something I don't know and go, yeah, I'm doing this. It's fine. I can get it done. So just that type of person.
Chan.
Oh, shelf gravy. Like I said, things are about to get moving. We have a show next Wednesday. This Wednesday was Figga Bangin'. So next Wednesday is a shelf gravy show. Tips and tricks. If anybody has any questions or wants to see us try to do anything or, show someone how to maybe do something they don't know how to do as far as like painting figures, doing dios. I have to get into soft goods again because I've been a wuss about it. But yeah. So hit us up, let us know, and I guess you'll see more things coming from us very soon.
Yeah.
Also, there's the Nurse House Spoken podcast. So they release on Thursday mornings, and at some point we'll do Saturday night meetups again. I don't know when that's on the horizon, but apparently you can find Jason on, what was it, Xbox or PlayStation, one of those things.
Yeah,
Call of Duty. Everyone has Call of Duty type stuff.
They're also doing, I think their anniversary's coming up on Sunday. They're doing that.
I thought they did. Oh, they're going to be doing it. Okay.
Yeah, it's this Sunday, I think. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out for that. So
yeah. And then also the lovely Dust Mites for making our lovely theme music, but also has his own music as well, which you can find on Bandcamp. He did it on Apple Music now. So it was Spotify.
It's on Amazon Music, Apple Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and he's trying to work on Pandora, but they're giving him a hard time. So you can stream his music now.
Okay. Awesome. Go ahead.
Super awesome. No, I was gonna talk Dust up because I just listened to like his most recent album. That's like my perfect type of music. It's like house electronic. Like you listen to this while you're working and you want just like a clear mind state. I love it. Thank you.
Check out the other albums if you like them.
Yeah, those are good too. Super really good. Sorry, go ahead.
Just real quick correction. Brian had corrected us. It was last Sunday. I thought it was last Sunday.
What?
That was the 1 year past. But yeah, anyway, that's for the Nerds Have Spoken. But also for us, you can follow us on social medias. Pretty much just Instagram and Facebook are our main ones, as well as our YouTube live. And then, of course, you can listen to us on all your favorite podcasting, streaming style music stuff, wherever. If you want to know something, ask us. We'll put it on there for you. Outside of that, we hope that you have a wonderful rest of your Thursday and see you next week.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.